Welcome to the Knowledge Dojo, a place to train the mind, explore the past, and understand the world. Let's begin. The Valley of the Kings is one of those places where the landscape itself feels intentional. A bare desert valley, carved and shaped by nature, but chosen by people who saw meaning in its silence. For nearly 500 years, this was the most important necropolis in Egypt, the final resting place of the pharaohs of the New Kingdom. Yet the deeper you look into it, the stranger and more complex it becomes. At first glance, the valley seems like an unlikely choice for royal tombs. There are no grand structures on the surface, no monumental stone entrances, no obvious claims of power. But that is the point. After centuries of building pyramids that acted like enormous "steal me" signs, the Egyptians changed strategy. Around 1550 BCE, they began hiding their kings underground. Concealment became a form of protection. The valley wasn't designed to impress the living, it was designed to outsmart the dead's greatest threat: tomb robbers. The geology of the place mattered. The limestone cliffs here are layered in a way that creates stable cutting conditions. Tunnels could be carved deep into the mountainside without collapsing. But there was symbolism too. The peak that rises above the valley resembles a natural pyramid, a shape heavy with royal meaning. Whether this resemblance was deliberate or simply convenient is debated, but the Egyptians really embraced coincidence. Each tomb in the valley begins the same way: a single descending corridor leading into darkness. But that's where the similarities end. Some tombs bend sharply, others run straight for meters. Some expand into magnificent chambers, and others remain unfinished. The choices weren't arbitrary. The layout mirrored the journey of the sun god Ra through the underworld, a nightly passage through danger, renewal, and rebirth. A royal tomb wasn't just a place to store a body, it was a cosmic map. Inside the walls were alive with text and colour. We see scenes from the Book of the Gates, the Amduat, the Book of the Dead. Ritual narratives showing what the pharaoh's soul would face. These decorations weren't simply art, they were functional, almost technological. The idea was that the written spells, diagrams, and gods carved on the walls actively assisted the king during his passage. Every symbol was a tool. If you're enjoying the video, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Let's carry on. Yet for all this preparation, the Egyptians faced a problem they never entirely solved: humans. Tomb robbery began almost immediately. Some thieves were desperate, others opportunistic, and some were surprisingly organised. They knew where to dig, what to take, and how to avoid guards. Ironically, the wealth placed in the tombs, gold, jewellery, ritual objects, made it almost inevitable. This constant threat led to extraordinary efforts to hide the entrances. Tombs were cut in remote corners. Workers destroyed ramps and pathways when construction finished. Entrances were sealed and covered with rubble. The valley became a puzzle, designed to defeat both time and greed. Most of these strategies worked for a decade or two, then failed. Almost every tomb in the valley was looted long before modern archaeologists arrived. The one major exception is, of course, Tutankhamun, but even that was due more to luck than design. His tomb was small, hurried, and quickly buried under a later construction site. It survived not because it was perfectly concealed, but because it was accidentally forgotten. One of the most fascinating aspects of the valley is what it tells us about work. Carving a royal tomb required teams of highly skilled labourers based in Deir el Medina, a village nearby. These artisans left behind detailed records like payroll notes, personal letters, work schedules, and even strike documents. They were literate, respected, and organised. The graffiti appears on the valley walls, not vandalism, but signatures of pride. When you walk through a tomb today, or even look at photographs, you notice the precision of the line work, the intentional use of colour, and the consistency of style across generations. The artisans weren't improvising, they were following a visual grammar that linked each king to his predecessors. Each tomb had to feel both unique and familiar, like a chapter in a long, continuous story. Despite this continuity, the valley also holds mysteries that resist interpretation. There are unfinished side chambers whose purpose is still unclear. There are blocked corridors that lead nowhere. There are tombs begun for one king and finished for another. And beneath the valley floor, ground-penetrating scans suggest further anomalies, voids and cavities yet to be explored or explained. Even the distribution of tombs raises questions. Some clusters suggest dynastic patterns, others seem almost random. Why certain kings chose specific locations, and whether symbolic alignments were intended, remains debated. The valley feels intentional and improvised at the same time, a place where planning met pragmatism. And then there's the most intriguing element of all, what we haven't found. The tomb of Ramesses VIII remains missing. Several side valleys show evidence of cutting, but no finished monuments. And deeper below known tombs, there may be subterranean networks or tunnels still hidden by metres of rock. But perhaps the real secret of the Valley of the Kings is not what lies undiscovered, but what its very design reveals. It reflects a civilization negotiating with time, a people who understood what power fades, dynasties shift, empires collapse. But symbols, stories, and carefully constructed pathways into the afterlife could preserve meaning long after memory had gone. Standing in the valley today, surrounded by silence, you feel that intention. The rock walls hold thousands of years of ambition, fear, devotion, engineering, and belief. Everything carved into the stone was meant to guide the king into eternity. Yet in guiding him, it has also guided us, offering a map into the mind of a civilization that continues to fascinate us. This is the Knowledge Dojo. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more coming. New stories, deeper analysis, and a continuing look into the lives and ideas of the world. If you want to follow the series as it grows, subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps the channel and it ensures you don't miss the next chapter. Until then, thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.